Have you ever stopped to think whether being nice is really in line with your true spiritual essence? We often seek the approval of others on our journey, but this can take us away from our true selves. In this video, we'll explore how authenticity and the courage to be who we really are fundamental to spiritual growth. We'll cover the telltale signs when we're losing ourselves in the search for acceptance and how to reclaim our true voice. Get ready for a transformation that could change the way you see your spiritual journey. I'm James. My own search for meaning and purpose began when I felt lost, yearning for a deeper connection with life. On this journey, I learned that there is immense value in sharing experiences and learning from others. The spiritual path requires you to be true to yourself. This means confronting your shadows and accepting your imperfections, rather than shaping your life just to please others. Authenticity is the foundation of any meaningful spiritual journey. When you surrender to the pressure to be pleasing, you run the risk of living a life that doesn't reflect who you really are. This constant adaptation to other people's expectations can generate a deep emptiness, a disconnection between your true self and the persona you present to the world. Look inwards and ask yourself what you really want. What are your desires and your truths? Often the answers are buried under layers of insecurity and fear of judgment. Being authentic is an act of courage that requires honesty and vulnerability. By facing your shadows, you not only free yourself from the shackles of what others think, but also allow yourself to grow in an environment where your true essence can flourish. Remember that authenticity is not a state of perfection, but an ongoing commitment to knowing and accepting yourself with all your nuances. Inner growth also depends on letting go of external validation. Society often conditions us to seek approval, whether through likes on social networks or compliments from people close to us. However, this validation is ephemeral and often superficial. When you seek the approval of others, you give them power over your self-esteem and value. True value lies in your inner connection, in how you see and accept yourself. By cultivating a space of self-love, you become less susceptible to external influence. This doesn't mean that you should isolate yourself, but rather that your emotional foundation should come from within. Build your self-esteem from your experiences, achievements, and learnings, not from what others think of you. Are you ready to free yourself from other people's expectations and embrace your true essence? The 21-Day Spiritual Challenge is the opportunity you've been waiting for to confront your shadows and cultivate authenticity. Discover how to grow inwardly and strengthen your self-esteem. Check out the link in the first comment and start your journey. Explore what it means to be you, without the expectations of others shaping your decisions. When you let go of external validation, you make room for genuine growth, where your true essence can manifest. This freedom allows you to live more authentically and consequently, more happily. The search for authenticity and detachment is not an easy path, but it is one of the most rewarding. Over time, you'll realize that true happiness lies not in pleasing, but in being true to yourself. This inner journey is the key to deep and lasting spiritual growth. Confronting challenges. On the spiritual path, we often encounter situations that test our resilience and faith. These challenges, which often seem like obstacles, are actually opportunities in disguise. Throughout my journey, I've realized that the difficulties I've faced have been some of my greatest teachers. In moments of pain, crisis, or conflict, it's easy to feel lost or even discouraged. However, instead of avoiding these experiences, I have learned to embrace them with curiosity and openness. When we face our challenges, we begin to discover parts of ourselves that have been lying dormant. Pain can push us to question our beliefs, reevaluate our relationships, and seek a deeper understanding of ourselves. For example, during a difficult period in my life, when I lost a job I considered secure, I was forced to look inwards. This led me to discover skills and passions that I didn't even know I had. Adversity, which initially seemed like a blow, became a catalyst for transformation. It's important to remember that pain is not an enemy, but a teacher. When you allow yourself to feel the pain without trying to mask or avoid it, you open yourself up to the possibility of growth. Discomfort is often the first step towards healing. The spiritual journey is not linear. It has ups and downs, and each of these moments is a chance to learn something new about yourself. I invite you to reflect on your own difficulties and how they have shaped your path. What lessons have you learned from challenging moments? How can this enrich your spiritual understanding? The importance of vulnerability. Being vulnerable is an essential aspect of spiritual growth. We often associate vulnerability with weakness, but this view is limited. In fact, vulnerability is a space for authenticity and genuine connection with others. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to deeper and more meaningful communication. In my experience, when I have shared my struggles and insecurities with others, I have created stronger and truer bonds. Allowing yourself to feel your emotions is an act of courage. It's easy to put on a mask and act as if everything is fine, but that facade doesn't support true connection. By expressing your emotions, you not only free yourself from the weight you carry, but you also inspire others to do the same. Vulnerability reminds us that we are all human and have our struggles. When we show ourselves as we really are, without fear of others' judgment, we create a space where authenticity can flourish. I invite you to reflect on how you have dealt with your emotions. Do you allow yourself to feel and express what you're going through? By embracing your vulnerability, you not only connect more deeply with others, but also begin a process of self-acceptance and self-love. Vulnerability can be a powerful step on your spiritual journey, a bridge that leads you to a more authentic and meaningful life. By sharing your experiences, you can also find a sense of community and support, essential for growth on any path. Freedom from expectations. Freedom from expectations is a crucial step on the spiritual journey. We often find ourselves creating an ideal of what the path should be like, and this idealization can imprison us. It's common to think that we should follow a specific roadmap, with well-defined milestones and achievements. However, the truth is that each path is unique, and there is no universal template. When you let go of expectations, you open up space for authentic and transformative experiences. This freedom allows for greater fluidity in your life. Instead of fighting against what doesn't fit your vision, you begin to embrace what comes your way. Accepting the present moment, regardless of its appearances, allows you to connect with the essence of what you are experiencing. By releasing this pressure, you become more receptive to the lessons that life offers. Every experience, whether challenging or pleasurable, has something to teach you. Letting go of expectations also means recognizing that spiritual growth may not be linear. There are ups and downs, moments of clarity, and periods of confusion. When you allow yourself to flow with the tides of life, without becoming attached to a specific outcome, you discover the beauty of the process. The path becomes lighter, and you can discover new dimensions of yourself that you hadn't imagined before. The practice of acceptance. Acceptance is a practice that transforms the way you interact with life and your experiences. Accepting what cannot be changed is not a sign of weakness, but rather an act of courage and wisdom. It's about surrendering to what is, rather than fighting against what is out of your reach. This surrender brings a deep sense of peace, allowing you to live fully in the present. Acceptance doesn't mean resigning yourself or becoming passive. It is an invitation to look at life with a deeper eye, recognizing that each situation brings its own lessons. Acceptance creates an internal space where you can process emotions, reflect on your reactions, and find clarity. By accepting circumstances as they are, you become better able to respond consciously rather than reacting impulsively. This practice also extends to the way you relate to yourself. Accepting your imperfections and vulnerabilities is a vital step towards self-knowledge. When you accept yourself, you allow your true essence to shine through, without the weight of self-criticism. This not only makes room for self-love, but also for compassion towards others. In a world that often values perfection, acceptance becomes a revolutionary act. Through acceptance, you begin to realize that life is not only about what you want, but also about what you need to learn. Every challenge that comes your way can be seen as an opportunity for growth. Thus, by practicing acceptance, you find a new level of freedom, where expectations dissolve and life reveals itself in its most authentic and rich form. This practice transforms not only your spirituality, but also your way of living and being in the world. Make time for self-reflection. This practice is fundamental to understanding what really pulses inside you. We are often so immersed in external expectations, the opinions of others and social obligations, that we forget to ask ourselves the essential questions. What do I really want? What are my true motivations? By allowing yourself this pause, you begin to unveil layers of your being that have been hidden. Self-knowledge is a journey that can be challenging, as it can bring uncomfortable truths to the surface. However, it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that we find opportunities for transformation. When you dedicate yourself to this reflection, you may realize that some of your aspirations have been shaped by external pressures rather than genuine desire. This awareness is liberating. By discovering what really matters to you, you begin to walk a more authentic path, where your choices are guided by what is in your heart and not by what is expected. Go deeper into your emotions, understand your reactions, and observe how they connect with your past experiences. This practice not only enriches your spiritual life, but also strengthens your ability to make decisions in line with your true self. Now let's talk about detachment from results. Often we enter spiritual practice with the expectation of achieving certain results: inner peace, enlightenment, or even prosperity. However, this quest for tangible results can become an obstacle on our journey. True spiritual practice is about the process, not about a final destination. The beauty of the journey lies in the lessons learned along the way, in the small revelations that occur when we are open and present. By focusing on the process, you begin to appreciate life's simple moments. Every step, every breath, every interaction becomes a learning opportunity. It's in the present that the magic happens. And by letting go of the idea that you need to achieve something specific, you become more receptive to the experiences that life offers you. Allow yourself to explore the unknown without the pressure of an end result. This detachment doesn't mean that you don't have goals, but rather that you approach them with an open mind and a light heart. Along this journey, you may discover that the best moments happen when you surrender to the flow of life. Spiritual practice then becomes an invitation to continuous self-exploration, where each day brings new opportunities to learn and grow. True power lies in your ability to be present, to live each experience fully, without worrying about what should happen. This is the essence of detachment, and by embracing it, you align yourself even more with your true essence, allowing life to happen in an organic and liberating way. Cultivating compassion is an essential aspect of your spiritual path. This practice begins within you, in your relationship with yourself. We are often our harshest critics, and this self-criticism can be a major obstacle to spiritual growth. To move forward, it is crucial that you learn to be kind to yourself. This doesn't mean ignoring your faults or avoiding responsibility, but rather approaching your imperfections with love and understanding. When you allow yourself to be human, with mistakes and successes, you make room for acceptance and forgiveness. The compassion you have for yourself is reflected in how you treat others. When you see yourself with kindness, you are more likely to see others in the same way. Each person you meet is fighting their own, often invisible battles. By recognizing this shared humanity, you become more empathetic and understanding. This connection is fundamental to true spiritual growth, as it reminds us that we are all in a continuous process of learning and evolving. Practicing compassion also involves actively listening and being there for others. A simple gesture, such as a smile or a word of encouragement, can have a profound impact on someone's life. The connection you create by being kind and considerate helps to build a supportive community around you, which is vital for your spiritual development. Remember that by helping others, you are also helping yourself. Every act of kindness generates positive energy that is reflected in your own journey. In addition, compassion should extend to the challenging situations you face. When you are faced with challenges or conflicts, try to approach them with a compassionate mindset. Ask yourself, how can I respond to this in a loving way? This doesn't mean avoiding confrontation or remaining silent in the face of injustice, but rather finding ways of acting that are based on understanding and respect. This approach not only promotes inner peace, but also inspires those around you to do the same. Another important dimension of compassion is the practice of detachment. We often become attached to expectations of how people should act or how situations should unfold. When we allow these expectations to rule us, we can experience frustration and discontent. By cultivating compassion, we learn to let go of these attachments and accept people and circumstances as they are. This doesn't mean that we should accept harmful behavior, but rather that we should approach situations with an open heart, allowing things to unfold in a natural way. Compassion is an ongoing practice that requires attention and effort. Set aside time in your routine to reflect on how you can be kinder, both to yourself and to others. Consider integrating practices such as compassion meditation, where you focus on sending love and kindness to yourself, loved ones, and even people with whom you have difficulties. This practice can transform your perspective and help you see the world through a more loving lens. Remember that compassion is a path that leads to spiritual growth. As you become kinder and more loving, not only to yourself but to everyone around you, you begin to connect more deeply with the essence of what it is to be human. This connection goes beyond words. It is an experience that resonates in your soul and in the soul of the world. Connecting with the whole is one of the most profound and transformative aspects of the spiritual journey. The reality is that we are part of a vast, interconnected universe, where every thought, emotion, and action resonates beyond ourselves. This understanding goes beyond mere theory. It is an experience that can be deeply felt and experienced when we open ourselves up to the immensity that surrounds us. By connecting with the whole, we begin to realize that we are not alone in our struggles and triumphs. Each human being carries their own burden, and by recognizing this, we cultivate empathy and compassion. It's an invitation to look at others as a reflection of ourselves, understanding that everyone is navigating their own experiences, challenges, and learnings. This perception of interconnectedness helps us dissolve the barriers that separate us and see the unity that exists behind diversity. Being part of something bigger also implies a responsibility. As we advance on our spiritual path, we are called to act in ways that benefit not only ourselves, but also others and the world. Every small action can have a significant impact, and this must be taken seriously and with intention. By cultivating love and kindness in our hearts, we create a wave of positivity that can spread and touch lives in ways we often can't immediately see. In addition, connecting with the whole invites us to give ourselves over to experiences that can challenge us. Sometimes this means stepping out of our comfort zone and allowing new ideas and feelings to permeate us. In doing so, we can discover new dimensions of ourselves and the reality around us. Spirituality is not a linear path. It is a journey full of ups and downs, light and shadow. Every experience, even those that seem uncomfortable, brings with it the opportunity for growth. When we connect with the whole, we begin to see the beauty in the little things. A smile exchanged, nature around us, everyday human interactions become sacred moments. This full presence helps us to appreciate life in its entirety, recognizing that every moment is an opportunity to connect, learn, and love. This awareness can transform even the most difficult challenges into valuable experiences. Being part of this whole also pushes us to seek a deeper sense of purpose. Instead of getting lost in superficial concerns or the incessant search for external approval, we begin to ask, how can I contribute to the greater good? What can I do to serve others in the world? These questions guide us towards a more meaningful life, where our actions are aligned with our deepest values. Finally, by embracing the connection with the whole, we come to experience a state of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that connects us with the divine and allows us to recognize the abundance that already exists in our lives. When we are grateful, we attract more good things to us, and at the same time, we become channels of love and light for others. So throughout your spiritual journey, don't forget the importance of connecting with the whole. Be open to experiences that reinforce this connection, and remember that even in difficulties, you are not alone. We are all on this journey together, and every step we take towards connection brings us closer to a deeper understanding of who we really are.